Good morning, Bella Vista. We're back with Let's Talk About It. You know, this show is all about some interesting things that are going on in our community. So I want to reintroduce you because my guest here to my side has been here before, Matt Taliaferro?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I did it.
You got it right.
Anyway, you are with Benton County Boys and Girls Club.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And you have a new initiative.
We do.
So that's what we're going to talk about today, Mindful
Matters.
Mindful Matters. So what I'd like you to do is introduce your two wonderful helpers, and then we're just going to talk a little bit and find out about not only the Boys and Girls Club, kind of the Cliff Notes, and then this new program.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, my name is Matt Taliaferro. I'm the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Benton County. I've been at the club for about 5 years now. And I would love to introduce you to our two social workers here. Today, they are the heart and the soul of our Mindful Matters program, Misty Ingalls and Bailey Mason.
Hi, ladies. Hi. So glad you're here today.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. You bet. So give us the Cliff Notes, Matt, on, I know that it's a county thing.
Yes.
So how many Boys and Girls Clubs do you have? Blah, blah, blah.
We actually have 19 sites across Benton County.
You're kidding me.
No, we have 19 sites. We serve approximately between 700 and 800 kids a day. We have sites in Bentonville, Rogers, Bella Vista, of course, Pea Ridge, and then we have 14 sites in Rogers that are in schools. So they're all in elementary schools around the county. So it's incredible. We've grown over the course of the last year or so. Last time that I was here on the show, we only had 5 sites, and then we added 14.
I was going to say, I don't remember that many last time. What is the purpose? What's the mission?
Sure. So obviously, being the Boys and Girls Club, we are here for the youth, to develop the youth in our community. Our mission is to enable all youth, especially those who need us the most, to achieve their full potential. And the key words in that mission are the kids who need us the most, right?
Okay.
And so that's when we, as a staff, when we sit down and we talk about what's going on in the club, we talk a lot about, are we helping the kids who truly need us the most? And this Mindful Matters program that we're going to talk about today is one of our newer initiatives that we started, and as I mentioned, Bailey and Mason, Bailey and Misty are our social workers that have really helped us to get this program off the ground.
Okay. Hey, Misty, I want to get to know you a little better. Tell me about you.
Well, I am finishing up my undergraduate at the University of Arkansas for social work. I am a mom. I've got 5 beautiful boys.
Wow.
Yes, I live here in Bella Vista with my husband and my children, my husband Jason, and so I have been a part of the Boys and Girls Club since my first internship, which was last summer. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
So I've been there for the duration of the development of the program.
All right, we'll get back to you in a minute, but Bailey, how about you?
Yeah. So I'm in the Master of Social Work program at the University of Arkansas. I'm originally from Central Arkansas area, but I've been up here for about 10 years. I just couldn't leave. I like it up here. Yeah. But I started at the Boys and Girls Club also as an intern in January. And they roped me in. I love the mission, I love the kids, I love the team, so I couldn't leave. And I had to find a job.
That was my next question. Why did you choose this? I mean, you're just graduating, you could do most anything. So what attracted you, Misty?
Well, when I started my internship, I was one of their first interns, and so just being a part of the development of that program.
Kind of a startup sort of thing.
And so at the end of that internship, I had the opportunity to come back and do my second internship, which I was very much interested in because I wanted to continue to see the program develop. And then at the end of that internship, I was offered the job, and of course I took that. I love it. I've built such a great connection with the staff and the children. So I love the mission. I love everything about it. So
how do children become part of the Boys and Girls Club? How does that work?
We serve any any child that ages 5 to age 18 or kindergarten to seniors in high school, and all they have to do is apply. I mean, if you go to our website, there's an enrollment. Many of our clubs get full, though, right? So sometimes there's a waiting list, but there are no qualification criteria, and so our mission is to help all kids.
So is it like an after-school program? Is that what it is?
So great question. There's a misconception about the Boys and Girls Club. A lot of folks in the community think that we're just a daycare service, that our kids come to the club after school, and then we just babysit them until they go home. That couldn't be further from the truth. We actually have 3 pillars at the club. They are academic success. So we help the kids with their homework. We make sure that that if we do our job right, they're going to be better students in school. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar is around leadership and character development, right? So we run programs and help them hopefully to make better choices in their life. And then the third pillar is all around healthy lifestyles. And healthy lifestyles is what used to be about your physical body, getting physical, fitness, and we feed all the kids too. So right, so they get dinner after school and twice during the summer, but physical is only a part of that pillar, the healthy lifestyles. What we are focusing on now is more of the whole body approach, which includes the mind. And so that includes the mental health of our children as well. So we're not a daycare service. We're so much more than that. We consider ourselves to be in youth development. And we could tell you stories all day long about how we see these children grow with our programs, et cetera. We love it.
Last time you were here, didn't you have like a poster child or a young man that was... he's gone on to the state and done other things.
So that's our Youth of the Year program.
Gotcha.
Right? And so we brought him on last time. He was our Youth of the Year winner.
Yeah.
And this year, so our Youth of the Year winner this year, her name is Kaylee. She has won now twice in a row. She won last year and this year. She won at the local level. Then she went to state, so she's she won that. She's the Arkansas Youth of the Year.
Wow.
Then went to regional, and our region in Boys and Girls Clubs goes all the way from Texas up to Montana. So she competed for that entire region of the country, and she won that.
Wow.
So now she is on her way to nationals, the National Youth of the Year competition, that's going to be in Atlanta in September. And she's won approximately $50,000 or so in college scholarships now.
Wow.
through this program. So, yes.
Yes. Well, let's get back to mindful matters. Misty, either one of you actually, tell me what a typical day is for you.
Oh goodness, it varies.
Yes.
Yeah, it largely depends on the kids and how they're doing that day, which is great. We can be really flexible and kind of be whatever they need us to be. I think that's one of our favorite parts about that job. But during the summer, we'll come in during the day. We have kids from the minute that we walk in the door, at 7:30 or 8 a.m., coming to maybe the calming center to regulate their emotions from whatever happened, the night before, the day before. We do meet with parents periodically throughout the day so that we can resource the kids' families if they need that. We have lunch with kids sometimes if they need a buddy, to help them out. It really, whatever the kids need, we do that all the way until, the kids are gone for the rest of the day, and then we do it all again the next day, Yeah.
So do you spend a lot of time observing and just watching to see who might need help?
We do.
Yeah,
We do
yeah.
spend time watching kids. A lot of times, maybe a kid will come onto our radar through the youth development coordinators, the floor staff who are working with the kids in their groups. They'll let us know, hey, we're having trouble with this one youth. Can you maybe come and observe or intervene or things like that? So a lot of times that's how those interactions begin.
So it could be anything from the very vocal person, and there's definitely something going on, to the very quiet child in the corner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And sometimes those are the hardest ones to reach.
Sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite stories you'd like to share? Do you have a something that just stays with you and will forever?
Sure, yeah, we have a couple of little friends in particular that we worked with the entire school year because they just had a lot, going on at home, a lot going on at school, and weren't really sure how to regulate their anger. And so that was also affecting their friendships, like around the club or around school. But we want them to be able to have a support system and be able to make friends and have those social skills. So we worked with them the entire school year, an hour at least a day whenever they would come to the club after school, teaching them empathy, teaching them how to set boundaries with other kids nicely and things
Yes.
like that. And by the end of the school year, we saw less write-ups for these kids. Write-ups are kind of like punishments that you get if you cross certain boundaries or break certain rules. And these kids were having good weeks. Like the entire week they were able to go without having something like that happen to them. So it took a long time. It did, but through their perseverance and us being able to, like really sit with them and get to know them in a calm space where they could share and we could kind of build that relationship, we saw a huge change for them.
What tools, and when I say tools, I don't necessarily mean physical tools, but you have a bag of tricks and you pull something out there, like something could be music, something could be this, something could be a child doesn't really want to be touched, or some tools. What do you use to help these children?
We do teach a lot of emotional regulation through utilizing one of the big tools that we used is called a calm box. And so should have thought to bring one of those, Matt, but a calm box is something, and within it there are fidgets like fidget spinners or a putty. A lot of times kids need something to do with their hands when they're talking about difficult things. It helps them be distracted, and it helps them to relax enough to be able to share things that they need to share and communicate. And so within that box are things like that, and some coping skills like breathing exercises, noticing how your body feels when you start to escalate in anger or anxiety. And so we use a lot of just random typical things, even toys. We play a lot of card games and board games because those things are distracting and allow kids to open up during play.
So do you climb the wall with them?
Do I climb the wall? No, I do not climb the wall with the children.
No, I was just going to say that's one of the things we
Yeah.
talked about the last time.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, how do you determine? I mean, you were at a kind of a corporate level. Do you visit all your organizations?
I do.
Do you?
It's what gives me my energy, for sure.
Gotcha. And what are you looking for? Just to interact with the kids, or to make sure staff's okay? How do you handle?
All the above, and to Bailey's point, it varies. It depends.
Yeah.
There'll be times where I'll go up and just sit with the staff and talk to them. How are you doing? Because yes, we're here to talk about how we help the kids, but I think one of the things that we've realized through this program, staff are people too.
Oh yeah.
We have to make sure that we are taking care of our staff. So going over and talking to the staff and asking them how they're doing, and are there things that you need? How can I help you? And then going out to the gym and playing basketball or dodgeball or whatever it might be. And the kids, when they see me come in, it's like, I love it, especially around Bentonville when I go in, and then they'll say, "Hi, Mr. Matt," and give me a high five, and stuff. So it's really cool. I don't, and to be honest though, I don't get out into the clubs nearly as much as I would like, for sure. But when I do, it's the highlight of my day.
I gotcha. Well, we're going to take a quick little break, and then I believe you guys brought some pictures today of some of the interactions, and we'll talk about those. And so anyway, we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Dave Todd, president of Todd Films. We work alongside Bella Vista Community Television to produce some of the content you see aired here. Have you thought about reaching your customers through a television ad? We have several options for you to consider. They range from coming to our studio here, or going to your place of business, or on location. Once you have your commercial, Bella Vista Community Television has several options for you to consider for airing your commercial. Do you have a live event that you would like to capture on video? We also offer live production packages that may be of interest. Please continue to tune in to Bella Vista Community Television. We hope you are enjoying this program. And now back to the show.
Okay, so we're back. You know, I believe you guys brought or sent in some pictures today of some of the activities or things that are going on here. And we've got a great graphics person back there that probably we scare her sometimes. But hey, do you think, there we go. Now, where is this? Is this in Bella Vista?
It's the Bella Vista Club.
All right, and actually you're kind of across the street from us in a way
Yes. Yeah.
here at the TV station. And how many children go there?
About 100 a day. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
They were in about 100.
Okay, okay. And then I believe okay, now what is this all about?
So this is the Calm Room at Bella Vista. I am there on Thursdays, and this is the area where kids do come to de-escalate and learn social skills, and they are learning how to, you know, a lot of the things with emotional regulation. So this is the area they come. We do psychoeducational material with them there.
What does that mean?
Psychoeducational, so that's where we teach the social emotional skills. So how to regulate anger and anxiety. Yeah, conflict resolution is a big part of what we do, and that is bringing kids in who are having conflict within their relationship with another peer, and we teach them how to work through that step by step.
You think we could have some politicians go to your common room?
Send them our way, please.
You guys would be great for them, actually. Okay, so Bailey, keep talking here. Tell me some more stories. What are some favorite times for
my
you?
goodness. So I think our job can be really kind of odd maybe sometimes, because some of our favorite stories come with a lot of trauma from the kids or just moments that are really difficult. And I think some of our favorite work that we get to do is sitting with those kids through those hard moments. So whenever you ask, honestly, a few of the stories that come to mind are kids that are sharing stories of abuse, stories of conflict between themselves and their families or between them and other kids that means a lot to them, and having to make some phone calls that can be really hard. But then knowing at the end of the day the kid is safe for that reason. So that's one of the hardest parts of our job, but we have seen kids come back from that and be in better situations than they were before, and so that's really rewarding. And then that gives them the opportunity to grow more because they're in a safe place.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Can I come over and be in your safe space sometime? I might be one of your difficult children, who knows?
I like the difficult ones.
Do you really? Well, somebody that has 5 children of your own, you probably have a lot of skills before you even went to university.
Yes, but university was helpful for
Oh,
sure.
of course it was. I really admire social workers. You know, some people are, you guys obviously are attuned to that, and you're very nurturing, caring people. And then there's people like me that just want you to do it right and get on with it. But we need a balance. You need a balance. Okay, so let's get some information, contact information, and I believe our graphics folks might have some. There we go. See, she's so good back there. This is how anybody can get in touch with you, correct? Sure. Okay,
That's our main number at the main office, yes.
And then here, let's read it out loud here. This is the email address. Oh, that's Jim, right?
Yes.
That's Jim's.
So that's Jim's email. We have an informational, just a general informational email as well. So it's just info@bgcbentoncounty.org if you want to get in touch with us. And then we have staff that'll make sure that email gets to the right place.
So can anybody, well, I don't mean just anybody. Say you have an interested person in enrolling some of their children. Do they come and they do a walkthrough of your facility? Do they come visit you? How does that work?
Sure. So we have a volunteer coordinator at the club, and a lot of the volunteers we get at the club actually come from our corporate partners. They send in teams where they'll come in and do team building with their team, but then they come in and interact with the children. They play dodgeball and they do all different science experiments or whatever it is through as a part of the programming. But every once in a while we get individuals who want to continue to volunteer I mean, as you can imagine, safety of our kids is our number one priority.
Of course.
Right, and so if we have an individual that wants to do something like that, then we go through the process of doing a thorough background check and what have you, and then they have some training that they have to complete before they begin regular interactions with the children. And we even had one volunteer in particular that was coming to the club, and they almost became a regular member of the staff, whereby they would help out and do various different things. And so we love it when that happens, but it takes a dedicated individual that wants to be able to spend the time, because a volunteer, our kids become very attached to
Yes.
our staff, and they become very attached to someone like that who comes in. And if you just all of a sudden stop coming in, then the kids are like, where, what happens? So we're careful about making sure that our volunteers are wanting to, come in and continue to do that.
So volunteer, and people can come in and volunteer for the Boys and Girls Club. How are you funded?
So we can't do what we do without the support of the community. When you take a look at our budget, approximately 70% of our funding comes from individual donors. It comes from corporate sponsorships. It's grants is a huge part of what we do. Only 30% of our income comes from the families that we serve. So we do charge I would say the smallest amount possible, just to keep our doors open to the families. But we couldn't do what we do without the support of the community. Donations are obviously a huge part of that.
So you guys work with parents sometimes?
Yeah.
That might be a very interesting, some of them might be easier than others.
Yes,
correct?
absolutely. Yeah, some of them are easier to engage with than others.
Always answers questions, though.
Yes.
No matter the experience.
Yeah.
Do what now?
It always answers some questions that
Of
we might
course
have.
it does, because you get a better idea about some of the behavior that's
Right.
that's coming out.
Yeah.
What was your most rewarding? Now you've talked about that a little bit, but do you have something you can share? What one of your most rewarding moments where you went home that day and thought, I did good today? Anything in particular you can think of?
I can think of one. There is a young one that we were working on who had trouble with managing conflict specifically. It was really difficult, and we taught her some skills in the conflict resolution. We have a step-by-step process that we do. We have something called a conflict resolution board we carry around, and they learn how to make I statements. I felt this when you did this, and this is what I need from you. And so after working with her for quite some time on that, she got to the point where she was asking for the conflict resolution board so that she could work through those problems on her own with
Wow.
her peer. And so when we started seeing that happen, it was it felt like a huge win. And so we have so many instances of things like that really, it's hard to pinpoint one, but that definitely comes to mind.
Yes.
I'm going to add one to
Okay.
that, because I think that Misty and Bailey will tell rewarding stories about how obviously they're helping the children. What I've come to see, and I think you guys now feel it too, is that the benefit is not just to the children that we serve, it's to the staff as well. The staff morale has gone way up since we started this Mindful Matters program.
Oh, good.
Because now the staff are more confident in their, because of the training that they've gotten through this program, and Misty and Bailey have helped to train our staff, they are now more confident in doing their jobs. And also, because the number of conflicts and the amount of conflicts that we have in the club because of this program has dramatically gone down, now the staff gets to focus more on the fun things, and instead of having to deal with the conflicts that they were previously dealing with, the whole atmosphere of the club has just like shot through the roof, and it took a while to get there. It did. It took a while for us to get to that point, but now the staff they've always loved what they do, but I mean there were some hard days. Now they love coming into work. So that's what I get a chance to see, the bigger picture of the impact, yes, on the kids, but also to our staff, and it's just amazing to see.
How long has this initiative been going on?
One year.
1 year.
And I would be remiss if I didn't. You asked how we're funded. So this particular initiative, this pilot, was funded through a grant from Blue and You Foundation. So they're the foundation for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh, okay.
And so they have been our partners in this pilot. And so the money that we received from the grant went to pay for all. You mentioned all the tools that you have, the calming rooms, all the various different things. Our grant provides that. And what we haven't talked about today is if there is a child that Misty and Bailey or the team have determined that or are recommending to receive therapy, licensed therapy.
Okay.
Then what they do is we'll make a referral. We have a partnership with a third-party agency that we make a referral to that agency, and then they do an intake with the parents and the child. And as a part of this grant and as a part of this program, the club pays for that therapy, and so it's free to the parents and the child.
Wow.
And they do it on site.
On site.
So it doesn't
So-
have to dysregulate any kind of scheduling for the family.
That's fabulous. So when you have of these 14 that you added on me in the last little while, so somebody's on staff there with all these different schools? How does that work?
So great question, and that's because we ran this pilot. Our goal is to make it so that what Misty and Bailey are doing they're only 2 people. They can't get out to, and so we want to expand the program so that we can begin to have that dedicated personnel, social workers that are dedicated to each site. Our team took a trip out to Denver, Colorado, and visited the Boys and Girls Club in Denver, and they have a model and we modeled ours after them, whereby they have each social worker is assigned to 2 clubs or two units, and so we're working through that to figure out how we can actually begin to get more coverage. But if there is a situation at one of those units where they will call them and they will go over there and help.
So you're kind of on call. You kind of move around quite a bit.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's put up the contact information once again. Is this international or just national organization, the Boys and Girls Club?
Boys and Girls Clubs of America is mainly a national club. There are international clubs, but when you hear about the Boys and Girls Club of America, it's traditionally here in the U.S. We are one of, in terms of units around the country, last year I think they were over 5,000 Boys and Girls Clubs, and we have 19 of them around the country. Yeah.
And how long has that been in existence?
Oh, Boys and Girls Clubs have been around for over 150 years.
Yeah.
So it started up in Connecticut. Our club, Benton County's been around for 30. We started in 1991, so 33 years.
Oh goodness. Okay. All right. Any last thoughts that you'd like to share with everybody to kind of say what you do every day? Or this is such a beautiful initiative, and maybe you're well, yes, you are. You're stopping some behaviors. You're teaching some things at a low level that you don't know what good you're doing yet. It could be by the time this person gets to be governor, or whatever, that it's because of what you've done.
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're hoping that by coming in at an early age and teaching these kids some skills to manage emotions and some social skills, that it changes their lives and their families' lives.
Well, I'm so glad to meet the two of you.
You too, thank you.
You have a great, fun, hard job.
Yes, they do.
And Matt, it's always a joy.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you guys can come back anytime you have something you'd like to say. So you come back, okay?
Thank you so much
All
for
right?
having us.
You bet. Okay, Bella Vista, well, we talked about it today, and I want you to stay in touch with what's going on in your community. Next month, who knows what we'll talk about. But until then, I will see you, and in the meantime, check out Bella Vista Community TV on your YouTube. We are also now on Roku. So get out there and subscribe to us. That helps us a lot. We're all 100% volunteer, and we're here for you. See you next month.